A quick review of
Home Sweet Home. Home Sweet Home is a horror game revolving around stealth gameplay and somewhat unusual setting rooted in Thai mythology. This might sound like a unique combination, but in reality Home Sweet Home offers very little that could be considered innovative. Of course, thematically, you'll have a chance to learn about some unique Thai beliefs, but in practice, this has very little effect on the game itself. For example, at one point you learn about a ritual to appease a certain demon, which then just turns out to be the usual fetch items from a list side quest. Then other time you learn about a ghost that kidnaps children at night, which in game shows up as a quick travel mechanic. Basically, all those myths only serve to introduce well-established tropes under new attire. Speaking of familiar concepts, so is the Home Sweet Home core gameplay a typical stealth action affair. Stop me if you heard this one before. You enter a section of a level that has a deadly enemy in it, and your goal is to get past her without being noticed while she roams the corridors on predefined paths. Later on, there are even security cameras hindering your progress. Really, anyone who ever played a stealth game before will instantly have this one figured out. As for the horror elements, here too Home Sweet Home doesn't really surprise with anything particularly noteworthy. You will find some spooky moments, and some jump scares will actually get you, but at the end of the day, all of it has already been done before. Although to be fair, the developers did a nice job pacing the game. There are moments of intense action, and there are moments of calm exploration. There are moments full of jump scares, and there are moments of slow, creepy atmosphere building. Essentially, those 4 hours it takes to complete the game feel varied enough not to get too boring. And I say too boring because the game starts to get a bit dull toward the end, when it decides to reuse previous location and forces you into one too many stealth sections. Finally, let's talk about the weakest part of Home Sweet Home, the technical issues in VR. Luckily, there are only two things worth mentioning. The game doesn't support motion controls, so you'll have to play with either a gamepad or a keyboard. And you'll have to lower your graphics settings, because the game has some trouble keeping a consistent frame rate. Oh, and keep in mind that Home Sweet Home doesn't start in VR mode. Instead, you're required to go through the main menu first on a flat screen. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Nothing really bad, but nothing really outstanding either. My final score: 6 out of 10. Home Sweet Home is a solid game, even quite polished too, but it just doesn't have anything memorable about it. Thank you for watching.